Hey everyone, Creator Mom. Happy Thursday morning. I've been sneezing. Always sneeze in the morning. Anyways, um, I started making this little like vision board, and this funny thing happened. I don't know. I was keeping pieces of paper around me that said things that I was like, oh, this resonates with me. And I thought maybe I'll just make a vision board for fun one day. Just kind of cut little important words or phrases out that resonate with me. I thought that would be fun, like a fun activity. I had this Huntington, this bank card or whatever, this bank advertisement. They must need money. I don't know, but they're offering a good money market account with bulldozers going by. I love that construction happening back there. But anyways, they're offering a money market account with a high, pretty decent interest rate on $25,000 or more. And I thought, oh, cool. Let me cut this out and put it on my vision board, So, anyways, as I started creating it, it's random. It's random. I'm like a very random, spontaneous person. So I just started placing things on this piece of cardboard, and I swear to God, I didn't even plan the words out or anything. I just started picking them randomly. I have to show you. You see how that lined up perfectly? It got smaller and smaller and smaller. I was like, holy crap, look at that. I didn't even plan that. That shit's crazy. I didn't say, oh, let me look for a little bit of a smaller phrase and a smaller one so I could line it up and then it could look perfect like that. It's getting smaller and smaller. It's just it just happened. I think that's fascinating. I don't know. That's crazy. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing. And I was listening to a podcast. Okay. Which just suddenly left my mind. Pamela Rickia's podcast on Unschooling Podcast, where they're talking about the abundance mindset, which is saying, I don't have all the answers right now. I don't know how we're going to get this or meet this need or this interest or desire, but let's stay open. Let's talk about it. Let's stay open, And I really love that. They're talking about how you don't have to jump to the end. This could be used in reference to anything in life, personally or whatever, but say in reference to your children. Children have a lot of desires and interests, and sometimes they come to you and they say, hey, I want to do this, and I'd love to do that, and I'd love to have this, And I think as parents, we can become overwhelmed and cranky and be like, always asking for something. Oh, God, another big thing. How am I supposed to figure that out? You know what I'm saying? That's just overwhelmed talking. But Pamela Ricky and them were talking about how, we don't have to go to the end. We don't have to figure it out right away. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Let's just talk about it. Let's stay open to it. Let's talk about wow, wonder what ways that can start to come into our world. Research about it. And watch how things kind of come together just with simple curiosity and openness. You know what I'm saying? That's the abundance mindset. The scarcity or lack mindset says, no, we can't afford that. Just kind of shut down. And I feel I more easily go into shut down when I'm overwhelmed, right? When I'm overwhelmed or tired or hungry, my mind is different. It's more negative. It doesn't want to hear anything because it feels like it's at its max. But if we be careful to meet our needs so that we can keep our mind in a good state, then we are staying in that abundant flow. If you're hungry, eat. If you're exhausted and tired, rest. Relax. And this all lines up with everything. This is what Tim Grimes talks about relaxation. This is what Christians talk about, right? Entering the rest of God, the kingdom of God within, right? Entering that place of abundance, and we can do that through relaxation. Because when we're stressed and when we're tired and exhausted, we are in a scarcity mindset. That's just it. We're cranky. We don't see like solutions and opportunities. It's just like we can't, So it just makes total sense. So yeah, that really resonated this morning. I like that. And I was realizing I was listening to this other video yesterday. These women were talking about divorce and how to, change your perspective on divorce, and not to make it mean something so negative in your life and negative about you, and how to recreate your life after divorce, etc. And I like that. And the one lady was talking about, and they really hit an important note, because I'm like, nobody's talking about how people feel like they can't afford divorce. Because they're talking about people want you to pay them as a divorce coach, but it's like, yeah, you're a divorce coach, but this person who's getting divorced has to pay it. You want them to pay a divorce coach, like $800,000 a month, and then you want them to pay and then they got to pay lawyer fees on top of that. Like, are people really likely to get a divorce coach? On top of everything else they have to pay for while going through a divorce. But she made this really good point that, and it convicted me. I was like, yep, that is how I'm thinking. It's like, we have this chunk of money, we have a basket of money, we have our basket, and we're like, we want to hold on to this basket, because we're like, if I spend money from this basket, I'm never gonna get it back, or whatever, right? So my basket is gonna stay the same amount. Bulldozers going by again. My basket's gonna stay the same amount because I'm not moving forward. I'm not taking any steps, which to me could feel comfortable or safe, But she said, and they're not talking about spending money erratically and shit like that. They're talking about making strategic decisions that, okay, if I invest money here in my life, this can make my basket have more money. Sure, it might make it less in the moment. It might make it less in the moment, but in the long run, it's going to add more money into your basket, right? So it's just like weighing out the pros and cons and shit like that. So, and it made me think, about my mindset about divorce, about hiring a lawyer. And I noticed that I kept having a mindset like, I can afford that, I can't afford that. And it was more so like, I don't even want to afford that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to afford that. I don't even want to spend money on that, because like, I don't value that. Like, fuck spending a ton of money on a divorce, right? But I was thinking, well, if somehow something came into my life, like like a credit card that has a really great interest rate, like say no interest for a year, and then after that, like a great interest rate. And at the end of the divorce, I was able to attain my portion of what belongs to me, which would pay off this credit card, or pay it off. I'd have to have something that's like no interest for a year, and you don't have to, no payments for a year, something like that. I think, but I know divorces can last way longer than a year. But I was just trying to think about scenarios. So I was like, maybe this type of scenario would be ideal, like no interest, no payments for a year, or something like that. And then if I'm going to get more out of the divorce, that's going to allow me to pay off this debt and have money left over, that would be a very good case scenario. And I'm like, the worst case scenario would be to get a credit card, spend this money, get in this debt, and then come out on the other side with nothing but debt that I can't pay off. That would be like a worst case scenario in my mind. It's like taking a risk. It's like putting one foot forward, like, oh, I'm taking a leap here, And I know somebody who's doing just that. They're getting in massive debt in a fucking long divorce with a guy who I don't understand for the life of me why somebody would want to stall on a divorce. It's just like it's like they want to hold on to the money. They want to hold on to everything. They don't just want to let go. Just fuck it. It's just like, let go. Be fair. I don't know. I guess it takes a while to negotiate, but this guy just seems like he's just being totally like kind of like uncooperative, it's like, why do you want to drag this out for years? Why? It's just, these are the things that like aggravate me about divorce, I'm like, why can't it just be easy? Maybe it can. Hey, if we're talking about assumptions, I should assume that when I start my process, that there will be ease on it, that there will be grace on it. You know what I'm saying? I think that there is ease and grace on it for this woman, but it's just like this dude is dragging shit out. Everything is being dragged out. Anyways, so those were what I listed as my like best and worst case scenarios. I'm like, I wonder if I can talk to a lawyer and be like, hey, can you just take a quick assessment of my situation and tell me, do you think, based on your most educated decision and your wonderful experience, that I'm going to come out with money to pay my debt? I know, right? And if he says, no, you're definitely going to come out under, and what am I going to do? Like, just never get a divorce? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it kind of feels like a catch-22. But there is a way. I know in my heart there is a way. I know in my heart there is a solution. So I'm just like, I'm brainstorming, which feels really good, and listening to helpful information, talking to helpful people, finding as much free resources as I can, because I know that internally I'm ready. My heart is saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And my brain, my reasoning is like, doubting Thomas. Is like, well, are you sure about that? Well, what are you in a rush for? But my heart is like, we feel ready now, to do this. So anyways, that's just my process. There was something else. Oh, the skunk. The skunk situation. My house smells way better. It was actually a very exhilarating situation. I feel like whenever these types of things happen, it's very exhilarating for me. Like, and it always works out for my good. Like, I was able to get these, I needed to get dish gloves, which I got a really good deal on. I got them like on a buy five, save five deal, which I need them because I love cleaning and doing my dishes with the rubber gloves. And I don't know, when things like that happen, it's exhilarating for me. I'm like, oh, a problem to solve. Like, oh, wow. I don't know. It's just interesting. So yeah, the smell is mostly gone. My dog is smelling better, hardly at all. So, everything is looking up after the skunk. All right, guys, I went on enough. Have a great day. Have a wonderful Thursday. Take care.